Hey again everyone, so I have another review for you today, and that is on Hourglass by Myra McEntire, and I'll start by reading the inside flap. 1 hour to rewrite the past. For 17-year-old Emerson Cole, life is about seeing what isn't there. Swooning southern belles, soldiers long forgotten, a haunting jazz trio that vanishes in an instant. Plagued by phantoms since her parents' death, she just wants the apparitions to stop so she can be normal. She's tried everything, but the visions keep coming back. So when her well-meaning brother brings in a consultant from a secretive organisation called the Hourglass, Emerson's willing to try one last cure. But meeting Michael Weaver may not change only her future, it may also change her past. Who is this dark, mysterious, sympathetic guy, barely older than Emerson herself, who seems to believe every crazy word she says? Why does it feel like an electric current runs through the room whenever he's around, and why is he so insistent that he needs her to help prevent a death that never should have happened? Okay, first of all, this has to be one of my favourite covers of 2011. It is beautiful. Here you go, it looks like she's running or walking towards a door, but when you flip it you actually see that she is on the wall walking towards the floor, and I think that's so simple, and yet I'm just in love with this cover. I think it's wonderful. That is how Emerson is described, with like long blonde hair, so extra props for that. They didn't put someone with like dark hair on there, as publishers have been known to do, and it's one of those velvety buttery covers. Oh, it's just beautiful, absolutely wonderful. So yeah, it has to be in my top 5 covers of 2011, very near the top. I'll have to think about that, but definitely near the top. I bought this quite a while ago, and I put it on my top 10 to be read pile, and I actually got round to reading it, and what took me so long? I loved this book. Honestly, oh, I read it so quickly I couldn't put it down. It just hooked me in. The writing style was really easy and just flowed wonderfully. I never got to the point where I was bored reading. I loved the character's name, Emerson Cole. I think, even though it kind of reminded me of Emerson Codd from Pushing Daisies, I kept thinking of the detective, but I really liked her name. I think that Michael Weaver's name is very clever. Weaver as in I won't give away, but I think that's quite clever. So Emerson basically thinks she's crazy. Since her parents died, she's been seeing these things that no one else can see, and she just assumes she's crazy. But she doesn't really know what they are, and her older brother desperately wants to help her, and he keeps finding all these people to try and help, and she's come across loads of fakes and charlatans, but then Michael turns up, and he really seems to understand what she's actually seeing. And of course there's a love interest, and nothing actually happens. Like, they feel for each other, but nothing really happens till towards the end of the book, and I quite liked that, because you had this sort of romantic tension between them, but you knew nothing. Like, they're not allowed to be together, but you know they feel for each other, and the whole way through I was really rooting for them because they were great together. It was a nice romance. It wasn't a boring, trashy one. It was, you could really feel there was a connection between them because of their gifts, if you will. So Michael turns up. He's from this secretive Hourglass institution, and she's wary to trust people because of what's happened in her past. So when he starts sort of holding things back, she doesn't know whether to trust him or not. And then it all comes out that he needs her to go back in time and save someone, basically. I loved this book. I've heard mixed things, because I know this was a really hyped up book, and a few people that I follow weren't overly impressed with it, so I don't know if that put me off, but I'm so glad I picked it up. I loved it. It's 390 pages, but it didn't feel like that. It went by very quickly. Once I picked it up I couldn't put it down. I read like 200 pages in one sitting. it was that good. It just went by so quickly, and now I really cannot wait for book 2 that comes out next year, Timepiece. And again, it has a very similar cover to this, and it's very pretty. The end, I like the ending. There is still stuff left open. Not everything has been concluded, but it doesn't end on this really major cliffhanger. I was worried that that was going to happen, but no, actually it leaves it in a really nice place, so that I feel like, yes, I can't wait for book 2, but at the same time I'm still fully satisfied ending where it did. It was good. So yeah, this is a 5 out of 5 book for me, because I loved everything. I liked the concept of what it was Emerson was seeing. I liked the romance in it, the character names. It is kind of predictable, I suppose, in a way. There was a couple of things I didn't see coming, but overall I think I'm torn between saying it is predictable and it isn't. Some aspects of it really are predictable, but others aren't, and I didn't see one bit coming, and I was actually really quite shocked. I thought there was a double cross, but I didn't know who was doing it, and when I found out, I was actually very shocked. So I would definitely recommend this for fans of YA sort of paranormal fiction. Definitely, for me it's 5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was a really well-paced book. I couldn't put it down. Loved the character, everything, and I loved the cover. It's wonderful. So if you've checked this book out, please let me know what you thought of it, and happy reading.